Bloodborne is rated mature 17 plus by the ESRB for blood and gore and violence. This Let's Play is directed at an adult audience and will feature adult language and discussion of the subject material. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello there, gamers! I'm the Orange Ranger, and welcome to another episode of Bloodborne on Orange Ranger Plays. Last time, we took on Vicar Amelia without a great deal of success, and then tried to grind up some blood vials, and ran into some issues there as well, losing a significant amount of echoes. Giving you a little peek behind the curtain here, that was the end of a recording session, and this episode in particular is just absolutely coated with scuff, the stuff of struggles from top to bottom. When I initially recorded this episode, I once again absolutely forgot to record any sort of commentary for it. I had the camera set up and ready to go, I just didn't hit record on it. That's actually changed my method of recording. I'll talk about that in a little bit. However, I decided then that, well, I have to go back and record some post-commentary for this episode. So I went to, and somehow moving my camera back 2 feet closer to me into the position where I have it when I'm recording commentary, switched the microphone channels from the directional microphone that was sitting 2 inches in front of my face to the boom mic that was nowhere near me, and picked up the echo, I should say, in my room. So that audio, I tried to fix it. I ran it through various programs and everything. I couldn't find anything that I wouldn't have to pay to use. So I just abandoned that and decided once again to look into using something I have, because I was thinking how much easier it would be to just record microphone audio directly into the computer rather than having to go through the rigmarole of importing it and dealing with the camera and stuff. So I have this little Technical Pro USB soundboard that can plug in 1/4-inch mics to. I tried to use it before, it didn't work. I decided to look into it again just in case, and it turned out it was a bad mic cable, and I had different mics that I could use, and it's working. So this audio is actually being recorded directly into the computer, obviously separate from the video because that was before. On top of all that, after the struggles with this episode in terms of its gameplay, I decided to go ahead and stop and work on episodes and stuff. But in that in-between time, I got the itch to play the game again, but I didn't want to push the Let's Play forward or anything. I could have created another game on one of my other PlayStation accounts and played the game that way, but since I needed to make up for some grinding anyway, I decided to go ahead and do a grinding run off camera and to just document the various things that I did so that you know where we're all at, and I will tell you about those now. I started off by selling 2 blue elixirs to get enough echoes to repair my weapons. While I was in that menu, I realized I had actually upgraded the axe enough to open up a second gem slot on it, and the spear had 2 gem slots on it. So I was able to add some gems there, and as of this recording, the axe has the gem with plus 1.1% damage and plus 1 HP recovery over time, and the spear got 2 gems that increased its damage by a total of 1.1%. I've been glancing at a walkthrough now and then just to make sure I don't miss any important story details or anything, and it advised me that I should head all the way back to that very first window where we talked to that sick gentleman. Turns out his name is Gilbert, and when you talk to him at this point in the game, he is dying. The church gave him some of that special blood to try to make him better. Fortunately for him, he didn't turn into a beast, but he actually got stronger from it. but he is now dying from whatever he was dying from, and so since you've talked to him and be nice, he wants you to have his flame sprayer. Yes, he gave us a flamethrower. I had not used it, and actually still have not used it as of the end of the recording session coming up. But I will demonstrate that at some point. You're actually going to get to see an enemy use one, so there'll be that. As I was running through Central Yarnum, I realized that several times I've passed by a gate that's right above the big double doors that the dude is banging on, and there was an item there that I never picked up. I went and picked it up. It was Cold Blood Dew, so good there. I looked for a friendly NPC, one of the first friendly NPCs you can run into in this game. Her name is Eileen the Crow. The first possible location you can see her is in that building with the sewers and the boats and the rodents of unusual size. There's a hidden window up at the top that she can be standing outside, but she wasn't there. As for the primary reason for this off-screen grinding, trying to make up for losing 11,000 echoes, I did the run again. I lost echoes kind of near the same place, but I was able to make up for it. I got those echoes back. I started the run over again, got those echoes back, which put me at about 22,000 at the time, kept on going, and made it all the way to the door of Vicar Amelia with 42,772 echoes, which allowed me to level up 6 times. I put 4 levels in endurance stamina to try to be able to swing more, 1 level in HP and 1 level in strength because I felt pretty good about both of those. I currently have 74 blood vials, which is the 20 that you see right there on screen, and another 54 in storage. This would give me 3 opportunities, if I used up all 20 blood vials, at beating Vicar Amelia before going onward. And in that whole time, I died twice, which is a little confusing to me because I know I died once during the grinding run, but if I had died a second time, it seems like I would have lost some echoes, but I don't remember doing so. I died twice. The death counter has been updated. All right, I believe that is all the information there. I've covered how I'm recording this in post-commentary, and it's kind of post-commentary, since this is the second time I'm trying to record commentary for this video, and the playing before that, and the changing, of the technology. So now we're gonna go ahead and let this video roll and see what happened. All right, we're gonna go run around, and here we go. Head down. Hey, what, you have anything to say?
You. Stay away from me. I know your tricks.
Okay, moving right along. I just actually remembered that a real good benefit to recording into the computer, as I slice up McDude here, is that my camera, which I said I was recording the commentary into, would break down files about every 12 minutes or so. This is not going to do that. So I can just edit the gameplay video and this audio very coherently. So good. I'm glad. I stopped at this point. I'm going to say, and I think this happens again, and I'll skip past it when it happens, but I like kind of including it. Being perfectly honest, at this point, I think I got a Snapchat from a good friend of mine, and I was taking a second to look at it. I just love that the ball of energy, of item, of whatever is sitting on this guy here, and I just imagine Orpington looking at her phone like, oh, that is cute. That's funny. Having a ball here in Yarnum. Send. Okay, did they open it? Let me see here. Okay. I don't get a good signal here. Okay, anyway, there it's sent. Okay, got the Quicksilver bullets. Headed up the stairs to deal with giant dude Mick Wackadoodle. I kind of realized at this point here that with the big guys, a lot of the time you don't even have to really quick dodge, which is to say hitting circle. you can just kind of walk around him because he's pretty slow. Now, an issue with this particular one here is that lever right there. They'll stand right by it if you attack them in this area, and that makes it hard to walk around them because it's kind of right up against the gate there. Continuing to proceed up the path of the stairs. By the way, the flamethrower guy that likes to jump me, he's over there to the left, right before you head in the gate. That's why he was able to get me. Ooh, watch out. Don't hit me with your big axe that looks like me. I mentioned it before, but that axe just weirdly looks, even up close, looks like somebody wearing a hat and then like a little like blousey type situation and on top, and then the blade is the black dress. So I'm like, your axe is cosplaying as me, and I'm not comfortable with that. I'm also not comfortable with you smacking me in the face with it. See? Flamethrower guy! Or should I say, flame sprayer guy. It's interesting how it kind of operates in an arc and whatever. I was trying to get that item, and he's like, nope, stay away. And got it. As is often the case in games like these, strong weapon, not very strong enemy. And we move along in a fourth style direction. I wasn't gonna say forthwith, because I always say forthwith. Hit this dude. Funny how I'm slipping right back kind of into the flow of consciousness. It's like, okay, you know, just singing as I walk along here. Choppies. Again, I upgraded my stamina 4 levels, and I still don't really have an extra swing. Stamina goes up so slowly. It only goes up like 2 points at a time, whereas HP tends to go up a good 8 or 9 or 10 points at a time. This was the other point where I got another message on the phone, jumping ahead. Oh, I got a bloodstone shard from that dude, and we will move along. Here, head towards the light. It's interesting to me this light is purple. I thought it might be mystical at first. It's like, because, what, is that an electric light? And then I realized it might just be that the glass in the lantern is purple. Yeah, you're going to want to hit this guy first. I'm annoyed that his little sharp stick that he stabs basically straight down has such range on it. Bugs me. Like it. Then we're going to head up the stairs. Shooty face. Watch this. I did not mean to stagger him. He shot me, so I shot him. Then he glitches into the wall, the railing there. And I'm like, starting to explain, and I get attacked. The Quicksilver bullets I picked up are staying on the screen because you have to hit X to get that off screen. And if you're getting attacked, the game doesn't really care. And then, oh, there's the big guy. I'm annoyed by both of them being in the proximity of the placement of the me self, and I'm so annoyed about it that I go and take care of this dog, even though it wasn't doing anything to me. Seriously, it is an enemy character. I got stuck to that ladder, and I'm like, I'll climb that ladder later. It's a later ladder. A later. Anyway. It's trying to hit me with the backside of the scythe there. You know, points for creativity, my dude, but you probably... And they swung at me from the stairs. I'm like, I would like to hide behind this tree. And heal. I'm trying to get them separated there. Really, I should have just gone and finished off the scythe, dude. Hey. And that's why, because I died. Alright, we're going to cut ahead to where I come back to this area. And there you see, scythe guy jumped down the stairs there. I decided to go that direction to try to take him on first. And that actually worked out really well because I didn't realize it at the time, but I got out of the giant dude's aggro circle. So they went to just get back into position there. You know, get in there, slice him up, do a deal, heal. That's important. Something I would make this run, and like on that run where I died, I was down to like 11 blood vials. And I was thinking, like, I am going to fight a boss right now, so that's not really good. Fortunately, a lot of these enemies give you blood vials back. So I heal here, and he's almost dead. Let's get one more good combo in. Got a big slicey there. Staggered him, I think, is what that was. And he had 3 blood vials. So I went back to where I'm just 1 down. Seeing if anybody else down there had anything. Then we go upwards once again. I'm going to point out in advance here, I didn't realize this until later. Down that path, 1 level down there, was the opportunity to go summon Henriette. I completely forgot to. Although I actually just learned today, and I died again. I just learned today, the day that I'm recording this audio, that in these FromSoft games, not just Bloodborne, but the Dark Souls games and etc., if you come into a boss fight with more help, the boss is harder in turn. So you might wonder why you even bother summoning someone then. They can help in terms of the weapons they have being effective against the boss. They can help in terms of being a second target, which allows you more opportunities to heal and activate certain weapons and whatever. All right, cutting back to the frenzy dudes. There he is. There he is. He's got my vials, my echoes, my vials. This time I'm like, I'm going to throw a pebble and draw you down here because I got killed last time because your friend jumped me. That hits hard. The frenzy you actually don't have to worry about as much as I thought. I mean, it is 80% of your health if it fills all the way up, but you can usually kill them before that happens. When you kill them, it stops filling. I got surprisingly close on that one, actually. But then starts going back down, and you're okay. And now, yeah, I was like, let's go ahead and let that frenzy bar die back down a bit. So I'm not putting myself in frenzy danger. Blah, shut up. Just shut up for once in your life. Clergyman stick dude. Oh, I was in a bad spot. I'm like, there's statues. This is a small little area. I'm having trouble staying healed. If that had hit me, I would have died. Heal. Heal again. Thank you. Talking to my past self. Not entirely remembering everything I did in this session, even though it was only a couple days ago. Back him way down. I haven't done any damage to him as of yet. There's some damage. See, once you start getting damage in, it can make all the difference. They're not as strong as they seem. Go ahead and die. Thank you. Get some of that health back for parrying, getting in there and being good about, you know, mixing it up. Bloodborne rewards you. And now our path is clear. I'm going to talk about those statues on the way back out because I stopped to look at them, but now on to Vicar Amelia. I checked my menu. I was looking, I think, for Molotovs. I don't have any, but I did notice here that I have Numbing Mist. Throw to create a mist cloud that prevents HP restoration. Well, it just so turns out that Vicar Amelia can heal herself, so that would be a very good thing to have, and it gives it to you right around this area. So, after a little foible about where, you know, looking in inventory and putting it on the quick select menu and whatever, as you saw right there. I'm going to put it on the quick select menu. And then, yeah, I'm basically set to go. And I think here what I'm saying is, and I'm running in anyway, but I know I said before this fight, whether it was there or running up the stairs or whatever, we'd already tried Vicar Amelia a couple of times. This could be a difficult fight. It can take a bunch of times to try to win it. So I was asking y'all to be patient with me, saying that if I died in this fight, I would probably just cut back to another attempt, rather than going all the way back through. See, right from the start, ow! That double hand throw. Such a pretty boss, though. I know it's monstrous, but the long flowing hair and everything. Again, the monster fucker in us all, right? Amelia is very high on the Smasher Pass list for monsters. Bloodborne monsters, FromSoft monsters, bosses, you know. very high. It's even in beast form, just a very pretty, and unique looking kind of a boss. I thought that attack was going to do a lot more damage. I hadn't really seen it before. She picks you up and squeezes you. It does a little bit of damage, and then that's it. So, I think I got a stagger in there. I learned that you can stagger bosses, and that means that, yes, you can get viscerals in on bosses. Yeah, there. See, no, there. When there's a big splash of blood, and I realized it, and I tried to go back there, but, I couldn't find the correct spot to do the visceral attack. Roll away, roll away, roll away. Just I'm trying to stay healed up. I was like, remember, this is a very difficult fight. This could take me 2 or 3 shots. I knew in the second half of this fight, she gets difficult because she starts healing herself and gets more aggressive. So I knew that this could be difficult. This could last a long time. It could be 4 or 5 or 6 attempts in this Let's Play before I finally got past her. And since I'm beating the absolute crap out of this point, I hope you can sense what I'm talking about. In terms of why I'm saying that so much, there may be a very slight bit of sarcasm involved. As I get her down near 25% health, you see, you get pinned against a wall, you get pinned in a corner. She unleashes 2 or 3 really strong attacks at the same time. You don't have any chance to heal. Rare. It's at about this point I'm going, like, don't you try to heal yourself? I think my being more aggressive was a positive here, because I think if you run far away from her, she will take the opportunity to heal. If you keep the pressure on, she's not going to do it. Ooh, almost dead. 3 blood vials left. Almost dead. I have to use 2 of them there to get healed up back to near full health. Swinging away. Can we do it? Yes. That was the sarcasm of me saying so many times. And it wasn't sarcasm at the time. I was being serious. But in this case, like, be patient. It could take a long time, etc., etc. Yeah, I beat her on the first try. 15,000 echoes. Insight goes up to 11. Drenched in monster blood. And now at this point, I'm just kind of like, that felt like a one-shot, only because it was the first time in this session. I think it ended up taking me 3 or 4 tries to actually beat Amelia, but since this was the first in this session, it really did feel like a one-shot. We also got the item Gold Pendant. I know I look at that in my menu at some point, so I'll talk about that when that happens. And I was basically here just talking about how light on the ground Bloodborne's story is. Oh, this is where I'm going to go look at the gold pendant. See the gold pendant here that turned her into Deer Dog, used to gain a blood gem. To this point, I still haven't actually looked up whether or not, like the red brooch, the gold pendant has any sort of story aspect where I can give it to someone. I would rather do that if possible, because I can deal with blood gems and whatever. Blood gems created from special items tend to be significantly more powerful, but I can still, work my way around that. I'd rather have the unique, interesting story aspects. But Bloodborne's story is kind of light on the ground, because we don't really know who that was, what she was doing here. Turns into a giant deer dog beast or whatever, and there's a lamp here, but if your camera's angled like mine is, you might never think to look up and see that there's a glowing, fiery kind of an item sitting on the altar over there that's probably important. So you walk up to this altar, you see a bunch of candles, and you see a giant skull. A piece of it is missing. It looks like the skull of some kind of creature or beast, and it's glowing with like black, purple, white spectral fire. What else would you possibly want to do in your entire mind at all but touch it? I can touch. I want to touch it.
Master Willem, I've come to bid you farewell.
Oh, I know. You think now to betray me.
No, but you will never listen. I tell you, I will not forget our adage.
We are born of the blood,
I will never forget the
Many
adage.
men
It's installed
by
in
the
the
blood.
frame update.
undone by the blood. Our eyes are yet to open. Fear the old blood.
I must take my leave.
My gods, fear it not.
Now, you might be saying, how could I have possibly said, like, oh, the story's light on the ground, when they just gave us this flashback cutscene that's important story? Who's Master Willem? Who's Lawrence? He may or may not be that person we ran into earlier. I honestly don't remember. What were they talking about? What were they... I'm going to give you the actual importance of that cutscene, which, again, you can completely miss by not touching the skull. Lawrence, in that cutscene, Lawrence is leaving Master Willem, because he feels like he has to. Willem thinks that Lawrence is betraying him, but he's not. He just won't listen. The entire point of that cutscene, I will always remember our adage, fear the old blood. You may recall there was a door that we couldn't open because it needed a password. Then we were crawling around the roof areas, and there was a little thing we found that said the password to the door is the adage of the church. Fear the old blood. We now know the adage of the church and can use the password to open that door. What do the messengers have for me? The eye of a blood-drunk hunter beckons hunters to the hunter's nightmare. A deformed creature will whisk you away outside Odin Chapel. Guess what that is? Downloadable content. That is the DLC missions, campaign, whatever you want to call it, for Bloodborne, the Old Hunters. You pick up that item, and you're going to see in a moment that it is an item, the Eye of a Blood-Drunk Hunter. And if you are holding that and you are grabbed outside Odin Chapel, which is, I think, what was happening before when I was picked up and then died, it will whisk you away to the DLC. As a reminder, I'm not doing the DLC until we're about to face the final boss of this game. Then I'm going to go and do the DLC and come back. What I want to do right now is level up. Welcome home, good hunter. I want to channel Blood Echoes.
Very well. Let me...
I had decided at this point that every time we talked to the doll, I was going to try to let her speak, to hear as much of her dialogue as we could. I will say the next few times I talk to the doll, she says the same thing every time. Well, I'm seeing what I could do here this time as far as leveling up. We have 35,702 echoes. I think we can level about 4 times. And I'm looking through here and again debating about how, like, and even demonstrating stamina only goes up to 112 with 1 level. Vitality goes up from 742 to 767, 25 points, but only 2 points for stamina. And then you're going to see me go down into skill, blood tinge, arcane. I don't consider those important. I will say that arcane is the only thing that changes the third stat underneath HP and stamina, discovery. I don't know what that means. There's a few things about this game that I should probably look up because I don't really know what they do, what they are. And that's definitely one of them, the discovery stat. I will say that I have beaten this game twice, so apparently it's not very important. So, we're gonna see what happens here as far as leveling. Am I gonna put anything into skill? Or am I gonna stay up top with the VES? There we go. Vitality 20, Endurance 21, Stamina 17.
Hunter, may you find
Yeah. So, and I was like, oh yeah, I said that I was going to let her talk. What is it you desire? Talk.
Hunters have told me about the church, about the gods and their love. But do the gods love their creations? I am a doll created by you humans. Would you ever think to love me? Of course. I do love you. Isn't that how you've made me?
Okay. As I said at the time, a couple of interesting things there. Number one, look at you. You may be a doll, but you were made to look human. Of course I would love you. Second of all, I didn't make you specifically, so I know I am a human, and humans made you, but you don't have to love me. I'm not the human that made you. And number three, boy, we could have a conversation about the various world religions and their views on why the gods created people and whether or not they love them. But we don't have time for that yet because Garriman is back, so we can talk to him.
The healing church and the blood ministers who belong to it were once guardians of the hunters in the times of the hunter. Lovely. They worked and forged weapons in their unique workshop. Today, most ministers don't recall the hunters, but they have much to offer you. And so, heed the message of your forebears. Ascend to Ardent Chapel.
Considering the fact that Garriman, when we first met, struggled a second to remember his name, and then he paused before naming Ludwig, I would almost have the theory that Garriman is Ludwig. I do believe they are separate characters, but that would be interesting. I think they just have some history that makes him a little hesitant about him, or maybe he misses him, or I don't know. I'm going to ask him about it a second time, because you remember I've said with these characters, with NPCs, when they talk, make sure you talk to them more than once to see if they're saying the same thing. And that can be a lot of times when they only have the one thing to tell you, they will give you a second thing, just more succinct, same info. For example, send Odin Chapel. That mirror is not reflecting me because it has cobwebs on it. I still think that's cheap. All right. At this point, I went over to the bench to repair weapons, and I repaired the saw spear. And then I'm going to go into Blood Gem Fortification here in a moment. Any moment. Lord knows what I'm staring at. There we go. I'm going to go into Blood Gem Fortification. Oh, yeah, I can't fortify the weapons because I need one more Twin Bloodstone Shard. But in Fortification here, I mess around in this menu, honestly, for too long. But the long and short of it is that I came to realize that I was using the Saw Spear as my primary weapon because it's unique. You know, it's not the Hunter's Axe, and it's not the Saw Cleaver, which I may have had trouble remembering at some point. Saw Spear, Saw Cleaver, they're very close. So it's a unique weapon to use on this run, but I had my good gems on the Hunter's Axe, because that was the first weapon I used, and I had my backup gems on the Saw Spear, and since I was using the Saw Spear as my primary weapon, I really needed to switch that up. So that's what I'm doing here, putting the gems that were on the axe on the spear, putting the gems that were on the spear on the axe, and then we can go from there, and I'll have a very Merry Christmas. and all that jazz. Okay, so back and forth, and like I said, this is okay. We're moving past this. Okay, done with that. I've got 1,831 echoes left, so really all that's left to do is head down to the messenger shop and see if I can grab a little something. It's kind of when you got like $5 left in your wallet and there's nothing you do with it. You know, walk into the dollar store, see if anything grabs your eye. At first, I was looking at blood vials, then I quickly glanced at Molotovs before landing on this bold hunter's mark, because I'd used the one that I had, and I don't think you need to carry more than one at a time, but you should have at least one. I thought really hard about buying a blood vial, and I realized that one doesn't make a difference when you're wanting to have potentially 100 or more at a time. Anything else I could do conveniently good with those echoes. How about pebbles? Pebbles are a deceptively useful item. They don't do a lot of damage, but they will get the attention of an enemy and help you draw them away from a crowd. So it's something very useful to have. Good to have some on hand, so I grabbed 10. And then I was thinking about, well, all I can afford now is a single throwing knife, or I believe bullets, because bullets cost $320 for 20 bullets. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to sit on the echoes. And that is going to bring us to the end of a very, very, very scuffed episode of Bloodborne. Thank you all for your patience with me, and thank you so much for watching. The series is doing a little bit better than Link to the Past was, so I greatly appreciate that. In the comments below, let me know how you felt if you played this game the first time you beat Vicar Amelia, if you have beaten Vicar Amelia. For me, the very first time I beat Vicar Amelia, it was nothing less than feeling like, okay, this game is famously extremely difficult, but I think I can handle it. I think I could play this, and there's a chance that I can beat this. So did you feel the same way, or was it not challenging at all? Let me know about that down in the comments below. While you're down there, please hit that thumbs up button to let me know that you enjoyed this video. I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe if you're not, and let your friends know to subscribe. That way you're notified of whenever I post brand new videos. And I'm sitting at 89 subscribers right now, I believe. Once I get to 100, that's still a long way from monetization at 1,000, but if I can get to 100, I'm going to do some kind of 100 subscriber special. Don't know what I'm going to do yet, but it'll just be a fun little video that won't be Bloodborne, you know. It'll be some kind of fun something. Maybe another Power Rangers game, who knows? So if you are watching this and started following me for Power Rangers, there's a good reason I might play a Power Rangers game. So I'd love it if you would subscribe. Check me out on social media: Facebook, Orange Ranger Plays fan page, Twitter, Orange or NGR Plays, Twitch, where I hope to start streaming soon, and this little setup, now that it's working, is actually going to help me do that. That is going to be Orange_Ranger_Plays. I don't have a timetable for that. I'm just really trying to get my life and schedule figured out to see when I'd be able to stream and how often I'd be able to stream and what I'd be streaming. But thank you all so much for watching. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. The next episode is only going to have half of this and then half regular commentary. And until next time, may the power of the blood protect you.